Hey guys, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what's been happening, where I've been. Obviously, last video I made was yesterday, but before that was like a week and a half ago. And so kind of like just what's been happening, why I've been gone. If you don't remember, and then obviously stuff that's happened since I've been gone, since an awful lot has. Um, so if you can't remember, remember about a week and a half ago, I think it was Thursday of last week. So, a while ago. But anyway, so back then I made a quick video saying I'm gonna get my wisdom teeth removed. Obviously, they were removed. Um, the swelling made it very hard to speak. Pretty much, I don't have any swelling left, not that I can tell. But because like the swelling, I mean, obviously it swells out, but it also swells in, and so you end up with your cheeks between your teeth. And obviously, if you can't fully close your teeth, and it makes it very hard to speak, basically. So I couldn't really talk. I mean, I could talk, but it was kind of like a mumbled kind of thing. It didn't make a lot of sense, and I didn't really want to make a video on it. And plus, it was difficult to do. I didn't like talking. Anyway, so I did get a place in Runescape, and I released a Slayer Diary yesterday. So if you missed that, go watch it. I don't know. I got a lot of levels. It was very worthwhile if you ask me. And then other things that happened, I got the dragon ceremonial hat and boots pretty quickly, actually. Like, I've gotten these about a week apart now. Obviously, they are purely ceremonial items. They're not no stats. Someday I might get the full outfit, then I can finally put in my costume room. That's kind of the scam of these things. It's like, well, you don't have the full outfit, so you can't put in your costume room. Yet, they're just gonna sit in your bank. So, and they're completely worthless otherwise. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. There's my fish mask. I actually bought that one. I didn't get it on a squeal thing. Anyway, the other thing is, if you look at my cash pile over here, it's actually gone up quite a bit because I haven't really been spending anything yet. I've been gaining quite a bit, just like weekly stuff. And one thing I've always wanted to buy was full Virtus. Now here's my problem: I could buy full Virtus, because I have things like steadfast. I have all the boots, full armor, bandos. I have enough money. Like, if I sold everything, I could easily buy it. But that means obviously I wouldn't have all this stuff. And stuff like full bandos is very nice as far as just Slayer is concerned. Full armor if I want to go kill Armadillo or Nex or something. It's very nice. So it's like I feel I don't want to get rid of it, yet I don't necessarily want to keep it because I really want Virtus. So I don't know what to do. So if you have like an idea of what I should do, post in the comments, and I'll of course read them and make a decision based on that. Let's see. I'm gonna go do some mining because I really want to get a mining level. I won't get it on video though. I'm not anywhere near the mining level. Oh wait, I have that golden. That's what I should do. Got reorganize my bank again. Now that I just tried taking everything out. Anyway, the other things I kind of want to talk about in this video is obviously Solomon's Shop was released, and it's disappointing to me that Jagex keeps doing things like this. It does seem kind of like a scam. It's not really what us players want, and that is somewhat upsetting to me that Jagex continues to release things like this, and they haven't shown any will to stop yet, and that is very disappointing if you ask me. And maybe someday they'll finally realize that it's not what we want, and then they'll stop. But so far they haven't really shown that they want to do that, so I don't think it's going to happen. I did see a suggestion that a JMod posted on the forums. I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically, a basic idea was, I mean, the Squeal of Fortune, I believe, is far worse on the money selling front than Solomon's Shop, as long as Solomon's Shop stays purely cosmetic. I mean, I think that's completely fair. If you want the absolute best cosmetic stuff, because it does take a lot of development time. It's not like that's easy to develop. Then it's. I think that's fair that that they require us to pay for it. I don't think that's necessarily wrong of them. If that makes sense. I need Titans. These things. Anyway, so yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong that they do that kind of thing. But what really bugs me is when they release that as an update. If you think about what was released recently, it was that, and then they're sort of doing this like holiday event because of the Olympic Games, which I'm fine with. I mean, obviously, it's kind of a holiday event. It's a huge event as far as London's concerned, and obviously the Olympics are a big deal. And I think they've done Olympic stuff in the past. I mean, not as big because it wasn't in London, but they kind of they mentioned the fact that it was the Olympics, and so I think it's fair that they're gonna go ahead and make it a big deal because it is in London. I think that's very appropriate to do it that way. I feel like I'm missing something in my gear. Oh, I'm not wearing a cape. I am wearing a cape, but I think I want this cape instead. But anyway, and so that's fair, but it seems like the quality of updates has gone down while the amount of money they're getting has gone up. If that makes sense to you guys, that if you look on the high scores, which are basically pretty much how many members exist in the game. As far as I know, once you're a member, you kind of are just on there. And I'm not sure if like the trial members, because I know like once you join the game, you get like a week of trial membership. So if I just, you guys can't see it, but I'm just gonna go down to the bottom of the list here. So there, I see 2 million people on the high scores, and level 34 is the lowest. So it's exactly 2 million. So that suggests to me that not everybody's on the high scores. But that's obviously then there's a lot more that's kind of in that same boat type thing. And it seems to me like I remember when it was a big deal when they hit 1 million members. I remember that. Obviously, that was a long time ago, and so now they have a lot more than that. I'm gonna pause while I change worlds. Okay, here's world 71. So yeah, and so they have over 2 million paying members as far as I'm concerned. I don't have any evidence that suggests differently. If that's the case, then it seems to me like, why do they need to suddenly start putting in a bunch of microtransactions? Obviously, fine. If there are a lot of other games that do have microtransactions, and the reality is our microtransactions aren't that bad. I do see Squeal of Fortune as being very bad because, obviously I can just go out and buy XP if I felt like it. So, but the suggestion, that's what I was saying, was the suggestion was don't remove the Squeal of Fortune, but make the Squeal of Fortune, like the coins and the XP, instead give whatever it's called, like rune coins for Solomon's Shop. I don't even know what it's called. Is there, huh? Rune coins. Okay. So yeah, have that give rune coins for Solomon's Shop so you can get cosmetic rewards. Basically, all it would be cosmetic between both of them. And I think that's a fair thing to do. That it gets rid of the whole issue of like buying XP and all that. Yet it's not. The problem with it is obviously people aren't as likely to do it because you're not gonna buy. You know, there's no real point in buying the random chance of getting a rune coin when I can simply go buy a rune coin. If that makes sense, it's like it'd be like saying, because yeah, you might get more rune coins, but not likely. Like, because Jax would probably balance it and make it, fair, and then, yeah, it wouldn't be really worthwhile to do. Sorry if you can hear the birds in the background. Those things are really loud. It doesn't help that somebody's whistling to them, so then they get louder. So, if you can hear them, I'm sorry. Can't do a lot about it other than kill the bird, but I don't think my sisters would appreciate that. It's a disadvantage of being at home. But anyway, so overall, I'd say the whole issue, I'm kind of in between on it. I think, I personally think that it's a good overall system. Like, it's not necessarily bad, but it's not good either. It really is kind of an in-between system on whether this whole microtransaction thing is good. Because the reality is people keep playing the game, and Jagex knows that they're going to lose a few people when they introduce something like microtransactions. But they know the reality that most people are going to stay, and then it doesn't matter. To them, anyway. But then it matters to us that people do leave, and it leaves bots, and there are a lot of issues. And I think really what disappoints me, as can get back to my main point, was that they have more members now than they've had pretty much any time in the past that I can think of. And yet they keep introducing these microtransaction things, and then they pass off those microtransactions as being full updates. And to me, that's just like, well, that's kind of like a massive scam. Oh, wait, 100% the wrong way, isn't it? Anyway, and so it's like, to me, it should be the other way around. That, if, you're getting less members, or if you're getting more members, you're getting more microtransactions, so therefore you're getting more money than you've ever had before. Shouldn't you be releasing the best updates you've ever had? I mean, obviously, Combat Beta, that's a huge update that's going to come out. I don't know, that's 100%. Whoever said it was 60s, retarded. Anyway, and so it's like, why can't they release their best updates? And someday I hope they will start releasing better updates. And the Combat Beta, obviously big update, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily their best update. I mean, because like you think of like Clan Citadels, it's like biggest update of the year. Yet really it wasn't. It was the biggest update development time, not best update. I mean, not a lot of people used it. It wasn't really well balanced. It wasn't well done. And so it's like, just because it's the biggest doesn't mean it's the most used. And so yeah, Combat Beta is going to be the biggest update of the year to them in terms of development time, in terms of time spent. And it's going to be a huge update to the game. It's going to change the game. I mean, obviously it's Combat Beta, but um, but it doesn't, and it doesn't really kind of has this in between effect. So I think the Combat Beta will do well. But like going back to like Clan Citadels, a lot of people don't use Clan Citadels. It's just the reality because I'm in a clan, but I'm not really big on it or anything like that, and so it's not a big deal. And so it's just disappointing to me that an update that could be good, and they're making more money, and so they should have more developers, more people to test, and they don't seem to use it that way, is what disappoints me. It's not that they're releasing, these things that make them more money. It's that they release these things that make them more money, yet they don't seem to be using that money for RuneScape. And that's what makes me disappointed, what makes me kind of sad. And that's what kind of gives the impression that the game's dying, yet I know it's not dying, because obviously we have more members than ever before. We have, you know, investors are willing to invest in the game in the first place, which right there implies that more money, that the game is going to keep lasting. You have a lot of JMods, in interviews and stuff, to be like, 10, 15 years down the road, that's what they're thinking. So it's not, the game isn't going to die. But it gives the impression that it's dying when they keep releasing these poor updates that don't seem well thought out, that don't seem well tested, don't seem well balanced, that don't seem good as an update. And it just seems like, as I said, if they're making more money, where's that money going? Because they're charging us more, then they're charging us microtransactions, then they're all this stuff. Yet the money doesn't seem to be going into more development time. It seems to just disappear. And obviously Jag as a company, they've taken losses on stuff. They had a few games that they took losses on, but maybe they're making a new game. Who knows? But anyway, I just completely broke my nail on my chair. It actually kind of hurt. Anyway, so it's just disappointing to me, is my point, and that I feel that something's either, Comet Bay obviously takes a lot of development time, and they know it's a lot of risk, because they're going to lose quite a few members when that comes out. They're trying not to, but obviously they are going to lose several. But I'm going to keep playing. I think I got a spin ticket off this. Wow. Talking about this Wheel of Fortune, get a spin ticket, the usual. Anyway, so I think my opinion is that I'd like to see better updates. I don't like seeing this, that they've released these regular updates that seem less and less recently, and less and less, good. And I'd like to see them change that. So someday I hope that will happen. No, wrong way. Okay, so this was 70, 60, 50. But yeah, so I definitely would say it's a kind of in between thing for me. But I'll keep playing the game definitely. But overall, I'd like to see some changes in Jagex, and like to see some changes to focus on new updates and spend that money that they're getting on RuneScape. I mean, obviously, you're gonna spend some money elsewhere. Not every part of a company necessarily makes a profit, but you want it to be making a profit, so you invest some more money in it, expect to make profit later. But at the same time, you gotta maintain, your old money making ways, and the way to do that is invest in those as well. And so I'd like to see a little more investment in RuneScape. And so yeah, that's my opinion on the matter. I'd really appreciate your thoughts in the comments. Right now, I can't reply to comments because YouTube sucks. And so I will be posting those. So if you check back every now and then, I might have posted something and reply to you. And yeah, so, but if you're not, then if you don't want to check back, then obviously don't check back. But I do appreciate your thoughts anyway, and I'll talk about them in videos like this. And yeah, I will see you guys probably sometime in this week. I'm gonna do some scaling. I've felt like doing skilling for a while now. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully I'll get some good levels out of it. I really want 81 mining so I can finally just go do flasks and get quite a bit of money off that too. So yeah, I will see you guys sometime this week. Next weekend at the latest. Actually, wait, next weekend I'm leaving. So maybe not next weekend, but we'll figure it out. So probably say I'm leaving Thursday. Maybe after I get back next weekend. I don't know. I'm just going away for the weekend to rest and see the mountains and stuff. So yeah, but something I'll figure out something. So see you guys later and have a good week.